love to see a genuine passion for news. There is a huge difference between somebody who wants to be famous and wants to be on TV or on radio and somebody who has a passion for news and telling the stories, whether they be local, national, international. And it excites me when I meet somebody who really still has that genuine passion. They don't treat watching or listening to the news as something that they do for their job. It's something that they do because they enjoy it. They absorb news around them because it's something that they have a genuine interest in, and that's something that can't be taught. I can tell people until the cows come home that it's important to watch broadcast news, it's important to listen to news, it's important to read the news, obviously, but when you're just absorbing it naturally because it's something that you are interested in, that's my job half done. News doesn't happen 9 to 5. News happens late nights, early mornings, weekends, public holidays. If you're not okay with working when the news is happening, then I'm not sure why you're here in this industry. I've been here at 6PR for over 12 years now, and I still drag myself out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. I still work Christmas Day, public holidays, because that's when I'm required to be here. If you have a problem with that, yeah, absolutely, you can come into work because it's your job, but will you enjoy it? I'm not sure why you'd be here then. You have to have a passion for it, you have to enjoy what you're doing. Absolutely, I get told no every single day. People tell me they don't like my voice. People tell me that I'm in radio because I don't look good enough for TV. That's fine, that's their opinion. That's not going to stop me having a passion for news. That's not going to stop me doing what I do because I genuinely love it. You do have to develop a little bit of a thick skin because unfortunately, listeners have opinions about what you say, how you pronounce things, and sometimes you will make a mistake. And that's okay. It's how you get up from that and learn from it. You do have to be resilient. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to tell someone that you're not coping with a particular story, or you know, even some feedback that might have been delivered in a particularly difficult way. But unfortunately, in life, you will receive disappointment and you will receive criticism, and it's how you take that on board and use it to fuel your fire or to become a better person that really separates, you know, the strong from the weak, I suppose. It's so immediate. I can be out at a story and be delivering it to our listeners on air 30 seconds after I arrive if I need to. I can tell you stories that don't have great pictures, there's nothing sexy about it, and yet I can tell you that story and deliver it to our listeners. One thing I've noticed about radio as a medium, despite all the changes that the media has gone through and the rise of social media and citizenship journalism, is that we are still who people turn to in times of crisis, in times of disaster. We can still bring the listener that information when everything else has crashed, when digital systems are going down, when they can no longer get information because phones are cut off or whatever it might be. They can still turn on the wireless, we can still tell them the things that they need to know, and they still ring us. The amount of people that ring us first and say, this is happening in my location right now. You know, our listeners are the best source of news that we have and continue to be so. And I'm just not sure that there's any other medium that is so immediate in the way that radio is, and that's what I love. That's what brings me back every single day. And I will crow about radio for as long as I am here because I believe so strongly in it and the power of it. And you know, it is a companion. It's not always news. Sometimes it's just about hearing that voice. And I know sometimes my voice and the voice of my colleagues is the only voice that a person might hear in a particular day because they are isolated or they are lonely. And that's also a brilliant thing about radio. 2020 is a different time for people to be thinking about getting into journalism, and I would ask, are you getting into it for the right reasons? Please don't think you're getting into journalism to become an Instagram celebrity or a personality. I think that's the wrong reason. There are definitely still jobs there. I don't know what they're going to look like in 10 years' time, but we still need people to tell the stories. And if anything, I think reporters coming through now or graduates coming through now probably understand the way that social media is continuing to change and evolve, and the impact that that can have on media. Don't discount those skills. They are very important, and I think a lot of the journalists coming through now and the young people coming through now can be brilliant all-rounders. I think a lot of old school journalists can perhaps get stuck in their ways and get bogged down in being niche reporters. I think maybe those times are disappearing, but if you are an all-rounder, you don't have to be an expert in any particular topic. You just have to have an interest and you have to have an understanding of general news. Definitely the jobs are still there.